All right, welcome to Bologna Lips and the Woolly Worm first ever podcast. I'm David McCrary. I got with me, he's going to be here all the time. I shouldn't say I got with me because I can be just as well with you as you are with me.
I think we're with each other in the most heterosexual way possible.
That's fair. Maybe not the most. Because I've seen your act. I've got a bit of a man crush. I'll be honest.
Okay, well, yeah, you did take me out for sushi or something last time I was in Columbus. So yeah,
that's right. Yeah, but we still haven't told anybody who you are yet.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm the love interest.
Oh, see, you're guaranteeing people are going to listen to this now.
Yeah.
So did I say my name's David McCrary? I'm David McCrary, comedian, magician, TV host in Ohio for a little game show. And you, Joe, you can tell them what you do and who you are.
I'm Joe Deuce. I'm from Kentucky, and I'm a comedian. And this is our podcast, Bologna Lips and the Woolly Worm. And I'd just like to say I love everybody, except for Waffle House waitresses who are way too pretty to work there. It's pretty suspect to me. I think they have ulterior motives. What are their
ulterior motives?
I'm not sure, or either that or they're in the beginning stages of meth, and I don't trust that either. Man,
that's a very good point. I never even thought about that. I've never seen an attractive Waffle House.
Well, you have not been to Toledo, sir.
Okay, I'm heading there right after this.
That's where the cream of the crop of Perrysburg, Ohio is right there in the Waffle House. And I just need Waffle House with some struggle. I need like missing teeth, a weave clip that's falling out. That's what I want.
Well, I feel like the more homely looking, to keep it safe, the more homely looking, the better they are because they've probably been there longer.
Exactly. Okay, so if you look good, if you look like you are an everyday person, I don't trust you at the grill or handling my hash browns.
So you need to look like you've tripped and fallen into the grill a couple times.
A couple of times. A limp definitely helps.
Okay.
Like, that's where I think Fred Durst got the name for Limp Bizkit. Like the biscuits were terrible till the guy who had the bum right leg showed up, and the Limp Bizkits were the bomb. So.
All right. Well, if we're talking about loving everybody, I do, Joe. I don't know about you only loving certain people, but I do love everybody. Except for the people who blow their nose at the kitchen table.
Those.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
There's a place to blow your nose, and it's definitely not at anyone's table.
No. What are those people thinking? I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest, to tie our love and hates in together, I would rather them blow their nose over my Waffle House food.
I'm sure they probably already have.
They probably already
Most
have.
Food from Waffle House has probably had a nose blown over it at one point or another.
Right. I'd rather that happen than be at my kitchen table. And and if you use cloth napkins, if you're at a nice place like that, and you blow your nose in a cloth napkin, you are a despicable person.
Come on. What are those? Even if you're not out somewhere, I don't understand handkerchiefs and blowing into a handkerchief unless that's going straight into the trash can.
Okay, we're gonna have to beg differ on this one. I'm from Kentucky. Okay, this is a handkerchief is a man's tool to, like, you wipe up messes, you wipe up blood, you also take your snot out your nose with the handkerchief. And then, I don't like that you put it right back in your pocket. I've never been a fan of that, but my papa used to do it, and so I'm used to it. So you ever have something that you don't like but you're used to? So you're like,
I get that.
It's like,
Still gross.
Right.
All right. So what are we doing here, man? This is our pilot episode. If we're being like completely transparent, we don't know exactly what we're doing yet, but we're going to figure it out with this episode. And if you're hearing this episode, then we liked what we did, and we are blessing you with it.
Yeah. I think we should continue being as transparent as possible. I'm gonna be transparent like a dad in a dress. Okay, we're gonna be out here making sure that you know everything that's going on. Basically, I think this is a podcast where two friends who come from different backgrounds, who look very different, are able to sit down and talk about the world's issues in a fun way. Because people they're too sensitive.
Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you the story that, Joe, I told you, obviously, but for folks listening, what kind of prompted this. At the church that I go to, I'm on stage a couple times a month, basically just doing some sort of a bit. I know it sounds weird to talk about doing something like that at a church, but I just like to make people laugh on Sunday morning. So a buddy of mine, we're on stage, and we had written announcements for each other that we didn't show each other until we read them live on stage that day with the prompter. One of them, this is showing how, I guess, edgy you could get at the church I go to. One of them, my favorite, was the nursing mother's room is for, it actually started out, said, just a reminder, folks, the nursing mother's room is for mothers only, Steve. And just left it at that. And then my buddy Dan, who read it, after he reads it, he's like, on stage, he's like, how did you get away with that? And I said, I didn't run it by anybody. I just put it up there. So, but then I did one. So we're basically, we're a pretty white church. We're pretty, maybe we should also talk about that we talked about looking different earlier. I'm white and you are?
I'm black for all intents and purposes. I mean, I'm biracial, but no one knows that.
No, I never would have. You just told me like last week. I had no idea.
Yeah, until people say something or see me with my white mom,
yeah.
They just assume I'm the normal black guy.
When I came up with this idea, I'm like, who am I going to call? I was like, oh, Joe Deuce is the blackest guy I know. And you're not now. I didn't even realize that.
Arguably, I think it's like when you adopt a kid, like you chose that kid.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like I could have easily just been the whitest black guy ever. I chose.
Yeah.
I have an excuse. You know, like I was raised by white folks. What am I going to do? You know, like I chose to be in touch with my roots and, you know, be as black as I could be.
Well, so. You're nailing it. Yeah. You're nailing it.
Thanks. It's not something that everyone's able to nail, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that an acceptance award? I don't know if there's awards for that.
You know, so the NAACP actually gives out an image award. And that's what it's like. That's what the awards are called. And I'm like, has there ever been anything that's worse named? Like, it's like you're getting an award for being great and black. Like, if you weren't black, if you didn't have the black image, we wouldn't give you the award necessarily. So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah. So, going back to the story. So, the announcement was the leader of our worship band, his name's Kevin. So, I need to tell you that for one of these jokes. But the announcement Dan had to read was, don't forget, folks, we are naming the band in the running right now. The 3 finalists in the running are Kevin's Heaven, the Father, Son, and Holy Groove. And then in our I should have mentioned this before I started talking. In our worship band, pretty much all white, we got one black guy, one black worship leader, and he's awesome. His name's Lopez. So the last one was vanilla with a dash of chocolate, which, I mean, it's let's be honest. You're a comedian. I do magic and comedy. It's not a great joke. It's kind of.
It's not a great joke, but it's also not an offensive joke.
Exactly. Well, that's what happened is somebody got hold of us, and I'm not sure exactly what they said, how angry they were. My pastor just got hold of me and said, maybe we should stay away from that stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
And I thought, am I ignorant? Do I not realize it was that bad? Because the joke I wanted to do, tell me how good this is. You have to imagine you get the band standing behind you, and then you do the whole thing. You get to the point where you say vanilla, and you're turning back and look at the audience. Vanilla with a dash of, and then you pause for a second. The delivery is important here. You pause for a second and let people think, oh, he's going to say chocolate. Say vanilla with a dash of black. That's funny.
Yeah, that's
that's a better joke. But there's no way that I knew that there's no way that would have flown.
Yeah. The worst thing about this whole situation is I bet the person who was upset was not the person who the joke was at their expense, technically.
Lopez thought it was hysterical.
Which, by the way, a black guy named Lopez is a bit confusing.
It throws me off. It throws me completely off.
That is, when you were like, I was like, Lamar? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Lopez.
Lopez. Okay.
And that's confusing a guy that's half white and half black. So
right. With a Panamanian sister-in-law who coaches soccer. So I've been around Latinos like pretty much my entire career. Lopez threw me off just a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah. You know what? His name actually Lopez?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because black people do not care on nicknames. We will just name you after whatever we think of. And so his name could be Mario, and they just call him Lopez after Slater.
Okay. Gotcha.
I could easily see that happening.
Maybe we need to have him on the show.
I think we definitely should.
We will absolutely have Lopez on the show since he kind of, unintentionally, launched it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would be willing to put bets on the fact that the person who was upset was Caucasian. First of all, just the odds already in my favor there.
Right.
Middle-aged for sure, and probably a female.
See, I would assume all those. I don't know. They never told me, but
Yeah,
you know,
they're
if
not going
anything,
to, yeah,
it
but
led to this.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So some good has to come out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talking about this fun stuff, that could be fun. And what I started thinking was when this happened, I remember back to when I worked at a company up here in Columbus, and my best friend there, we hung out all the time. His name was Wendell. And we would sit around and, you know, from time to time crack jokes about each other. And white jokes, black jokes, nothing bad, nothing that we'd be afraid to say anywhere, you know, in the right company. And I remember one day he said, you know, we're talking about different stereotypes. And he said, you know, white people have baloney lips. And I had never heard that before. So, and one thing that didn't happen, I didn't get offended. I laughed about it. We thought it was hysterical. That's funny.
Well, yeah, that's a funny statement in general. I've been black almost my whole life, and I've never heard someone call white people's lips baloney lips.
Was that Wendell just being mean to me?
See, the context is very important as well. It could have been you were squeezing your lips tight and they, you know, maybe got a little. I don't know. It's weird. I've never heard of anyone called baloney lips.
I don't know if you can see. We're on Zoom here. There is a rind around my lips. It's a weird condition.
Well, yeah, you could have been drinking Kool-Aid with Wendell and maybe had a red, you know, some red tape around your lips. Maybe. I don't know what it was. That is a very strange statement to me.
I'm telling you, though, I can't have a one-on-one conversation with a white guy without getting hungry for some Oscar Mayer. I'm not kidding you. It's like, my baloney has a first name. It's David.
That's ridiculous. Danny's looking in his camera on his phone to see if he has baloney lips.
Yeah, our producer. We just saw him. I think he was. I think he was holding up to check his baloney lips. He was checking his
baloney lips. Hey, I said this to my wife, and she's white, by the way. And I think, and so she was like, "What does that even mean?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. I have no idea. I've never heard anything like that."
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. If you haven't heard that, he followed that up with also mentioning that when white people are wet, like in the rain, we smell like wet dog. Is there any truth to that?
Some white people.
Okay.
Yes. Now that is a known. Usually it's shaggy white people.
Okay.
So like if you have like a lot of hair.
You know what? Have you seen pictures of me back in the early 90s?
No.
I had hair when I met my wife in '93. I had hair to my waist. I was into the long hair rock and roll bands.
You probably smelled like a wet dog,
man.
And you know what? I don't blame you.
Did you see the depression in my face?
I did. I smelled like a wet dog. I
always thought it was the dog. Oh man, I'm gonna have to be very aware of that.
That one I've heard. I have heard multiple times that I've heard a lot of different stuff about white people. I've heard you guys smell like milk.
Oh man, I never heard that.
And that's
I think milk has a smell.
It does. Milk. You don't know that milk has a smell?
No, well, I'm not a big milk fan.
Okay, that's wow. Okay, yeah. That's, I actually have done a little research.
Wait a minute, then. Wait, would that mean black people smell like chocolate milk?
No. I don't think.
Okay,
that's a good question. If you're a black person, you smell like chocolate milk. You got the sugars, so you need to go get checked out because you're gonna lose a foot soon. That's not. You don't want to smell like chocolate milk. You don't want to smell like milk in general. But that is actually. I did a little research. The people who I heard it from were like first generation African American, like their parents were from Nigeria. And when I went and traveled in Africa, Africans say that Westerners, not just white people, anybody from like Western culture, because we have a lot of cheese and milk in our diet, we smell like milk when we sweat and stuff. It comes out and smells. It made sense to me when they said it, but I never knew before then. I just thought white people in America smell like milk. I didn't know it was like a...
You originally heard Westerns and decided to just make it white people.
No, I originally
heard... Maybe there is a little racism going on in this show, Joe.
No, I originally... There's definitely going to be some. That is one guarantee. But I originally heard white people from a person whose parents were from Africa. And then while in Africa... somebody said something similar, and I was like, hold on, is that like something that goes on here? And I was in Ghana, which is right next door to Nigeria, so same region. And they said, yeah, Western people smell like milk. You guys all smell like milk, like you are straight from a cow. That's what they told us. And I was like, oh, so not just white people, just
listen. Yeah. Side note, can you do that accent for the rest of the podcast? I mean, from here on, for as long as I think
that would be offensive.
Okay. It sounded so good though.
No,
you make me want to go upstairs and watch Coming to America after this.
Oh, their accents were terrible in Coming to America.
Yeah, I was bad. Yeah. Yours was much better.
And in Black Panther, that's the word. Like,
yeah,
Black Panther. What's his name? Forrest Whitaker with the eye. Yeah, his African accent was horrible. I don't know what part of Africa he was from, but not one where Africans live. Like,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
Oh, it's
and
terrible.
Pretend like I know and tell my people I'm watching with. Hey, did you hear that accent? That is not even close.
Well, that's how I know that Marvel's for white people. Like, white people was like, yes, these are good Africans. Like they spoke in 6 different dialects from different regions of Africa, but white people were like, yeah,
that sounds
makes
right.
sense.
That's what I picture it.
That's okay. I think that is when people talk about privilege. There's a lot of talk about white privilege. I think most people don't acknowledge that there's other privileges. Black privilege is that white people just assume we're the same.
Yeah.
So like if you're a white person who's in random rural Ohio, you probably think anyone from Africa is just from Africa. You don't understand that it's 100 and some odd countries and all of them have multiple tribes. And like when I was in college, I used the guy's ID to get into clubs. I didn't think we looked alike at all, but everybody, no bouncer questioned it. They were like, "Yeah, that's you."
Wow. Yeah, well, I was going to ask you. That kind of ties in because I was going to ask you. I haven't seen my friend Wendell for a while. It's been maybe 18 years since I've talked to him. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't happen to know him, do you?
Is he from Kentucky?
No, he's from up here in Columbus.
Then probably not.
I just thought maybe.
Not. No, what's his last name?
Hooks.
So his family's not from Ohio, though. They're from Michigan, right?
You know what? It's weird that you say that. He was a big Michigan fan. I do remember that because we argued all the time between Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you do know him. I was trying to be funny. You do know Wendell Hooks.
I don't. In the front of in black families, you get this big Bible that gets handed down. I don't know if you have those in white families and it has like your family tree.
No,
written
our
in the
Bible
front
is the Bible, Joe.
Right, but it's the same words that you guys have. It's just big and bound, and like you write in there like who you're passing it on to, and
gotcha.
There's a map of black names like based on where plantations and stuff where where people's. I'm lying. I am lying. I made
You're
that
lying. I gotta be sensitive because I don't know what. That's messed up. Oh man!
When I worked in radio, I did that exact same thing to my co-host at that show, and he believed me for weeks that there was like a black map of names, and he'd be like, "This person's in the news," and he would tell me the name, and I would make up a state, and it would always be close.
That is so good. Yeah, oh my gosh!
No, no, I do know some Hooks from Kentucky that are black, but
I gotta find Wendell. He was my buddy. He was the one that at the time when I was working there, I still lived with my mom and dad, and they had a pool table. So I called him. All right, one day we're leaving work and said, "Hey, why don't you come back to my place, my mom and dad's place, and we'll play some pool." So he comes over and we're playing pool down the basement, and this is back late '90s. Mm-hmm. And over in the corner we have like some old cassette tapes. Nobody was using cassette tapes anymore, but he's going through there looking at them, and he finds New Kids on the Block. And he's like, "What is this New Kids on the Block?" I'm like, "Dude, that's my sister's tape. I don't listen to New Kids on the Block." And he teased me for about 5 minutes. 10 minutes later, it was cranked on the stereo, both of us singing every single word to every song on that.
He acted like he didn't know it?
Yeah. Until we played it. And then he was dance moves and everything. It was impressive.
That happens. We are. I think one black stereotype that's pretty true is we love music, like any kind of music. Yeah. So that doesn't surprise me. I've acted like I don't know people before. When I got to college, I wanted to be the cool guy, So like, I'd have my headphones on and be jamming, but in my headphones would be John Mayer, and so. And I had a friend on the soccer team with me, and he loved John Mayer, and I had to act like I didn't know who it was for the first 2 times I rode with him, and then after that I sang every song. So
that's fantastic. Oh, all right. So we talked about bologna lips in the title, bologna lips and the woolly worm. You want to tell us about the woolly worm?
Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever been around people who are racist. outright. Like they're just.
I don't know if outright, but I've been around somewhere. I'm like, that guy might be racist.
Okay, no, these are not might be's. This is
okay.
In certain parts of Kentucky, like when they start talking, you're like, oh, this dude's racist. He don't like, and sometimes I think racists get bored with being racist, if that makes sense. Okay. And so I think they start to just throw out random things. The same way I think black people get bored with the English language. So instead of just greeting people like, hi, how are you? We always throw something extra in there like zippity zoodah, buddy. You know, like, so this racist guy that I interacted with, I was in high school. It was like my senior year and I was actually working at my church camp. And he just kept saying stuff that would be like, that would be off the cuff, kind of like off color comments. About color, I get off color, but in color comments. And I would just look at him. I'd be like, man, what is wrong with you? So eventually you have to say something. And I was like, bro, what's your problem? You don't like black people or something? He got into it with me. We're arguing back and forth. And I know he wanted to use the N-word. Yeah. Like I know, because I could tell his mouth was fixed to say it. But he realized we were at church camp. And he was like, I don't like hanging around and I don't like my kids hanging around with woolly worms. And I said, woolly worms? Like, and in my head, I was like, what does that even mean, woolly worm? And I don't know if you've ever been in an argument with a person and they said something so ridiculous that you just stopped talking. Like that's what I just was like, oh, you know what? God bless you. And I walked off and I didn't know. And like that day I was mad, but I didn't know why. Cause I don't know what the insult is. Yeah. To this day. Woolly worm. A woolly worm is a little brown fuzzy thing. Yeah. You know, it turns into a moth or a butterfly or something. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but like it was such a shocking moment that I was like, what does this even mean? And no lie, that night, we got done we were playing Capture the Flag that night. I'll never forget. We got done playing Capture the Flag. I went in and we were all out at my church camp. So we had we had face paint and camo and, little branches sticking out of your head and stuff. And so I went and we took showers. I got done with my shower and I was washing off my face and I looked up and at the time my hair, trying to think of how to say this for white people, because white people when you get perms, your hair becomes curly. But in the black community, if we perm our hair, it means we like straighten it out. Right. So it's like a relaxer. Relaxer is what it's called. I'm going to pretend like that you're telling me the truth still. It's true. You can look it up. Now I never know what to believe anymore. I set a bad standard. I won't lie to you again, David. So I had a relaxer in my hair because I got it braided all the time, but my braids were out. And so I started to raise up from the sink where I've been washing my face, and my hair was just like sticking straight out, and I did look like a woolly worm. Okay. Like just a little bit. So I was like, maybe, but I think it was some racist stuff. I'm not sure. Oh, it was absolutely racist. But the same thing. I've never heard a white person call a black person a woolly worm before. Yeah, I don't know. There's other things I've heard us called that I've never heard before either. There's the old school good ones that you're used to, but then sometimes stuff catches you off guard and you're like, what are you talking about? So. Well, that's what we're doing. We're leaning into the ignorance on this show. Is that a good line? That's put that in the descriptor, Danny. Yeah. Leaning into the ignorance. Leaning into the ignorance. Oh man. That's what we're doing. That's what this show's about. And like I said, it's the first one. It's me and Joe and then our producer Danny Jackson. Danny, if you want to, we'll even let you say hello right now. I can see you on the Zoom call. Danny, just for sake of just so people know who he is, have you remember the Geico cavemen? A little bit, yeah. He does, yes, a little bit. I actually played with a guy in college who looked exactly like you, Danny. His name was Jaeger. It's just his hair was darker, so his beard was black. That was the only difference. Wow. But that's awesome. Literally, I feel like I'm looking back in time right now. That's okay. We still can't get him to talk or say anything. No. Danny looks like he smells like a wet dog. Wait, Danny, come back. Don't leave. Danny, don't leave. Don't leave, brother. I love dogs, man. Yeah, we didn't say we love everybody but people that smell like wet dogs. That hasn't happened yet. So I don't think it'll happen. If you smell like a wet dog, I don't hate you. I think I feel bad for you. Yeah. And that's cool. I mean, it's kind of cool because have you ever I remember the first time I heard about somebody going to somebody's house, mom,
telling me we're going to somebody's house and hearing them talking about these are like dog people. And I was really upset when I got there and they weren't
actual
dog
dogs.
people.
You thought
like
there would
dog
be
people.
actual dogs.
Yeah, like they were,
that's
like dogs.
I don't. Part of me wonders if my mom. I get it, but part of me wonders if my mom cared about me because your mom gave you a warning. Like I would just show up and there'd be a Rottweiler at the front door, jumping on me, and I'd have to act like I'm fine. Like it's so funny. And my mom would never. She never said these are dog people. Like watch out.
Yeah. No. Well, when I say dog people, I mean like half dog, half human.
Oh, you meant they were dog people. Yeah. Like your mom was like these are some nasty heifers that they live like
really
dogs.
Disappointed. Like, dude, are these people going to have tails? That's going to be awesome. And I get there and they're just dog people, not dog people. So David, let me ask you this. You grew up, did you grow up in Central Ohio? Yeah.
Okay. Did you have black friends growing up? Or what was the makeup like?
Actually, no, that I know of. That I remember. I'm trying to, if I remember right. We had a couple black guys at our school and they were the cool guys. I do remember when I wasn't the coolest guy in school, I remember thinking, man, I wish I was black so I could be as cool as these guys. No joke. So it's, I'm out in the middle of a field somewhere. So, it's grown up a little bit where I am, but no, pretty white out here. At least it was. And, I was really excited when I started working at Lucent Technologies and had my black friends. I know that might sound stupid, but
no, I think my experience so far in life has been that when you don't grow up around people that are different than you, you have one of two reactions. Either you are scared of those people, or you're very excited when you meet them.
Right.
I don't think either reaction's wrong. It's just how you're wired, almost a fight or flight for social anxieties, right? So for your case, you were excited when you got black friends. That's good.
Yeah. And man, like I said, I wish I could find Wendell. I'm gonna find Wendell.
Yeah, look him up on Facebook. We can find him.
I've tried. Like I even emailed his or Facebook messaged his son, who I'm not a friend with because he has no idea who I am. And but a lot of times those messages won't come through. You have to go find those messages.
Find them.
Yeah. So I am gonna find him. Maybe I'll look up a phone number and just start calling because I know you can look up phone numbers. Just start calling people. I'm gonna find Wendell and get him on the show too.
Okay, it's kind of stalkerish, Dave. I'm not gonna lie.
It is a little bit. And last time I called him, he's probably still mad at me because last time I called him was after we had left Lucent. We had gotten laid off. I called him like 4 years later because I'd gotten a job as a host of the Ohio Lottery game show. So I call him right before the Ohio State-Michigan game, which was, we always bet on that game. We always had a small little bet because he was a Michigan fan and an Ohio State fan. So I call him right before then, and I leave a message, say, hey, Wendell, it's David, give me a call. I think you know what I'm calling about. So he calls me back, and he's like, hey, man, what are you calling me about? I said, it's that time, Ohio State versus Michigan. And the disappointment, he thought for sure I was going to invite him to be on the show and play for thousands of dollars.
He was excited. He thought he hit a lick, as we say. Like he was like, it's on. Hilarious.
So I will find him. That will be my goal. I will find him and keep everybody updated on what happens with Wendell.
Yeah. Well, when you called me about this podcast, I too thought that it was my turn
to be on the show.
I was like, I don't even live in Ohio, but I'll take the money. This is going to be awesome.
When I did email you about this or text you about this, you jumped on the idea really quickly.
Yeah, I think race is very important. And I think where I sit as a biracial male, I have family on both sides and other sides. I've got a German aunt. I've got a Panamanian sister-in-law. So a nephew who speaks Spanish. I've got African friends. I see a lot of different perspectives on race and the interaction that's going on in our country right now. And what's worrying me, I have a 3-year-old daughter. You've got kids. You understand, you worry about their future. I'm worried because people are getting so siloed or secluded within the same group thinking realms. So like if you Dave are a Trump supporter and you believe in A, B, and C, you're gonna group up with other Trump supporters who believe in A, B, and C. Right. And then if your best friend who you've known for 20 years is all of a sudden a Biden supporter, you might cut them off. You're like, I'm unfriending that fool. Like, you know, and so I'm seeing more and more of this, and it's becoming, I think, a problem. You know, when I was growing up, I was always taught America's a great melting pot. And, you know, you're supposed to get to know people of other cultures and everything. And I saw racism growing up. But in today's world, as an adult looking at it, it's very scary, the amount of isolation that's starting to happen instead of discussion. There's no one's talking in a constructive way. Well, it's all arguments. We are. That's what I'm saying.
We're leading the charge.
Yeah. So I've been thinking a little while about trying to do something. I had a few ideas. I even told you about, I was like, I'm going to get in a car with a bunch of cops. It's going to be called Black and Blue. And like, I'll just do ride-alongs and make it a podcast. But when you said this, I was like, perfect. Two guys who are funny, but also who are not idiots all the time.
All the time.
All the time. We're idiots, but not all the time. Selective idiocracy is important. And so for us to be able to have talks and, deal with current issues, bring people on. When you said you had the opportunity, you were like, well, let's do a podcast. I think it's going to be awesome. I was like, yes, perfect. Yeah. I've already been thinking about this. I'm in.
And I'm stoked. I am absolutely stoked. And so with this being our first one, we've got like an hour on this Zoom call because we're just kind of testing things out. Mm-hmm. So we should probably wrap things up here because we don't have much time left. But I don't want to wrap it up because there's so much stuff we can talk about, so much fun we can have that comes along in future podcasts.
Yeah, I think so.
If there are future podcasts, because one thing we can talk about real quickly is we've got the election coming up. If you're listening to this somewhere down the road, this is recorded before the election, but what are you going to do for the election riots this year?
Well, I actually have my outfit already picked.
Okay.
So I've got black steel toe boots.
Nice.
Which are awesome. I've got jeans because those transcend race.
Yes.
They're not Wranglers, so they're not locked into they're Levi's, so they go across the aisle. A plaid shirt. So depending on who wins, that plaid shirt will either be untucked. Or it will be very tucked in with high waist on my jeans, and I've got a red hat with no writing on it. I'm going to bring a Sharpie, and the night of, we'll put on something just to keep me and my family safe. And that's what I'm going. I've got a crowbar that I've really been looking to use, and I've been eyeing a TV. I've been eyeing. I don't like riots and looting, but there's some times where I walk by a window and I'm like, you know what?
If something
jumps off, like
if you've got a looting list, what you're gonna grab.
A list. Oh my! I've got family who got an Amazon wish list for looting. Like they're like, oh man, let some stuff jump off tonight. I'm going to get these and this. We know when Jordans are delivered to finish line, we are ready.
That is good. I love it. Man, I'm gonna have to do some looting. You're making me really want to now. I don't like looting. I don't think that's part of the solution. Nah, you're right.
But I also don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Right. Look, I'm not going to ask questions. You want to bring me a gift? I've never asked somebody where they bought it from or where they got the gift from.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My brother showed up at Christmas one time and he had a trunk full of shoes. He said, I got you some shoes. I said, really? He said, yeah. And he asked me what size. And I was like, how many sizes do you? And he opened the trunk and it was a trunk full of shoes. I know he did not buy those shoes.
No.
They came from somewhere. But he had my size.
So you took them.
So I said, Merry Christmas. Mwah, thank you.
Well, at this point, you can tell us about it because the statute of limitations is well past, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
Yeah. You don't care?
Most black people are paralegals because they know all the laws and stuff, but I don't. So I don't. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on some stolen shoes. I'm not even gonna say the brand because I don't want to put too much information out there.
Oh, I'm just practicing my running away and screaming.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I'm a magician, so I'm not a what you would call a strong man.
Yeah.
I get no physical activity in what I do for a living.
Yeah, so. I get it. Like I'm a comedian, and like some people threaten to fight you. You just have to look intimidating.
But
like
you look at yourself and look at me.
Yeah, but Dave, I haven't been in a fight. It's probably been at least 20 years since I've been in a real fight. Like an actual fight.
I don't know if I've ever been in one. I've been in fake fights with my cousin, so I'm afraid. Like, if I ever get into a fight with somebody, I'm going to make those fake sound effects as I swing and hit them, like I used to with Chad, my cousin.
I'm just picturing you on a table like Spider-Man trying to... Why isn't it coming? Like... For some reason, that's in my head. I've got you, like, you're trying to freeze people with your mind. Like,
wait. Don't hit me. You want to see a card trick? That's my defense.
How are you not Gambit from the X-Men? Why do you not know how to toss a card to slice somebody's face up? Like, that's what you should be.
I can throw it. I have no direction, so I'm going to hit anybody in that general direction.
That's fine.
General area.
That's fine. If there's riots, there's a mob. Just hit some. If one person gets hit with a card, the rest of them are going to be like, whoa, did he just slice it with a card? I'm not taking on that guy at all. Let him go.
Oh, that's all right. I'm going to practice that.
That's important to remember. When there's a group of people, you just got to get one with a good enough, an impressive enough move that the rest of them want to leave you alone.
That's good. That's
good. I've been jumped a couple times.
I'm writing that down. I'm writing it down.
You figure it out.
All right. So I figured we also would end these podcasts with homework for each other. To broaden our horizons.
Right.
Do you want me to go first with your homework? Or
I would like for you to go first. I need to write this down.
Okay.
All right.
So I am a country music fan. I love all music. I really do love all music. I'm a big music fan. In that way, I guess you can consider me black. Because I like music, and that's what you told me earlier. So I'm just going
black
off what
people
you
love all
told me.
music. We are not a monolith.
All right. So how much do you love John Party?
I don't know who John Party is.
All right.
I know Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw. I know Dwight Yoakam. I know Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
This guy, John Party, like I said, sounds like something that happens at a truck stop.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to walk into at a
I'm not walking into a John Party.
Well, there's a different. The tone is on the what's it?
Party.
Yeah, no, well, between John and Party, so it'd be either it's John Party, that's the singer, or a John Party.
True. The inflection that happens. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You're saying.
So I'm talking about John Party.
Okay, but now see now it seems like you're asking me to join you. Now it seems like you're asking John Party.
The musician.
You down?
From now
John
on, anytime I say John Party, we're talking about musician from here on out.
All right.
I believe John Parties have happened at Waffle Houses also.
I'm sure they have happened at some Waffle Houses. Oh, those parties get scattered, smothered, covered, and chunked.
Okay, here you go. 2 songs.
All right, 2 songs.
2 songs I want you to check out.
All right.
One is called Heartbreak Medication.
Heartbreak Medication.
Yep.
Okay.
And the other one is Ain't Always the Cowboy That Rides Away.
Ain't always the cowboy that rides away.
Yep. And I saw the look you made. This is Zoom. I can see you. I saw the look you made when I said "Ain't always a cowboy that rides away." You looked a little disappointed that you're gonna have to listen to this song.
Heartbreak Medication.
Yep.
And Ain't Always the Cowboy That Rides Away.
Yep. And Party is spelled P-A-R-D-I.
Well, that's a very different thing. That's Pardi.
Yeah. Hey,
it's like French, like Jean Pardi.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, but if he said it like that, no one want to listen to him.
No one's going to. No country music fan's going to listen to him.
The cowboy that rides away.
Ain't always the cowboy
that rides away. Yeah, I've already got the ain't always, Dave. I'm writing down.
Okay. So you just jumping in halfway through.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm one of those people who talks when I write sometimes.
Okay. So Ain't Always a Cowboy is his new song. That's his newest song. Just a song ago was Heartbreak Medication. One's fun and upbeat, and Ain't Always a Cowboy is a little slower, but they're good songs. You have to let me know what you think.
Okay. All right.
All right. So what is my homework?
You know what? Since you like music, this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you. I need you to watch a movie.
Okay.
Okay. It is the story of a gentleman named Frankie Lyman.
Okay.
He had a band called the Teenagers in the 50s. They made a lot of hits. Very interesting. And it's called Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Okay, I feel
Lorenz
like
Tate. Yeah, you might have seen parts of it. You might have seen it if you have, but it's on the Black Movie Watch list. You got to check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it, but he passes away, and then there's a dispute over who owns the rights to his stuff, and it's an interesting tale.
Okay,
So,
and is this, you say this is a true story?
This is a true story.
Or based on a true story? Okay.
This is based on, well, yeah, it is, they embellish for Hollywood, but yeah, it's based on a true story.
So did he write the song? Did he write the song, Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. If you like 50s music, it's a great movie. If you
love
like drama,
50s music. Love 50s music.
If you like drama, it's a good movie as well. And I think you'll like it.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I will make that happen before the next podcast.
Okay. All right. Well,
cool.
we're going to do it in 3 hours. We're going to start the next podcast in 3 hours.
Yeah, so I gotta get on it. Listen, I will even go as far as buying the movie to watch it. That's how committed I am.
Wow. Okay. Well, I cannot proclaim that I'm going to buy the Jean Paul D album.
Just listen to it on Spotify.
I'm Spotify or iHeart or somebody's got it.
Right. Somebody's got it.
Are there videos? I'll probably watch the video on YouTube, to be honest.
There you go. There's got to be something there.
I want to get to know this guy. I want to see his eyes when he sings to know what he's really feeling things.
The last concert I saw before all of this went down.
Seriously?
Quarantine. Yeah, we saw him in Las Vegas in a private show. Just happened to stumble upon it. We were out there for friends were at a trade show.
Okay.
And he was a spokesperson for Case IH farm equipment. And so,
wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, we got our homework. We got the first episode done. Danny told us just to do an intro and then see how he liked it. And we did the whole show and never shut up about it.
Bam.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Now, Danny gets to take it. And if he'll still talk to us, he gets to take it and edit it and make it awesome.